Hey guys, hope you are doing awesome. Welcome to my channel Pega Hut with another video. Today I'm going to discuss about how we developers are working in real time with respect to changing the code. When I say with respect to changing the code, basically what I mean is how we create a branch, how we store the rule in the branch, and how do we check in and check out, and how we merge the branch into a rule set version. Without doing any further delay, let's straight away jump into the practical. Now what I did is I created a basic simple application or case type which has got three stages: collect info, review info, and process offer. Now if I may run this application or the case type, so if you could see there are certain section called personal information, identity information, and address detail. Now this section has already been developed. Now let's say my requirement is I need to show the ID number only when the user selects an ID between passport or DL, else it has to be hidden. Let's say that's the user story that we'll be working on. Now, as a developer, what you're gonna do is obviously you would have done your analysis first, and after you finish your analysis, now what you should do and how you should work on that, and as a lead, how they would review and merge the code into the rule set version is what we are going to discuss in this video. Now to start with, let's focus on there is something called live UI. So what it does is because the changes is in the section and we are going to do something on the section. Now let's go to the live UI and try to figure it out the section. Now if I go here, now if I click on this ID number, and there are multiple way that many way that you can actually get the section. One is you can click on straight away the ID number, or you can go to the actual section. So you can do multiple way. So I'm just gonna click in here, and then it's gonna open the section. Now if you could see, this is the section where I need to change. Now here I need to do something so that if I choose the ID type, then the ID number will be visible. Now to do that, the first step what I need to do is I need to create a branch. Now how would I create a branch? Let's say I'm gonna go to the application and then definition. Over here, what I'm gonna do is I will be creating a branch. So in the right hand side, as you could see in the screen, there is something called development branches. Here I'm going to create the branches. Now let's say this is just changing UI. Let's say I've created just a branch name. You can give your user story number or based on the standard your organization follow. Now I will submit this branch. Now once I submit, what I need to do is I need to save this application rule set. Now you need to make sure whatever rule you are going to change, it has to be, in this branch. So now to start with, what I'm going to do is I'll go to the section, and what I'm going to do is, as you could see in the section, we do not have a check-in or check-out option at the moment. If you could see, you got save option, you got action, and you got delete. Now the first thing which what I need to tell you is how you can make the checkout or check-in enable. To make the checkout and check-in enable, it has to be done in the rule set section or in the rule set rule. Now, how to go to the rule set? First, you need to understand which rule set this section is belongs to. Now, if you see, it is belongs to PZ Hut, right? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'll go to Record Explorer and then I'll try to find out the rules. So you can go and search for the rule set version over here, or the best way that what you can do is you can always go and search for that option as rule set. So over here, what I did is I went, so just for the guy. So generally it's easy for me. So I always go with this option wherein I'll go for all the option. Sorry, I think it got stuck. Let me just quickly refresh it. I'm gonna go to Dev Studio. So yeah, now let me go and try that option. Here you go. Now what I'm gonna do is I'll just search for rule set. Now if you can see, there are two things coming: create and the record. So we'll be going to record system admin rule set. You go via Record Explorer, or you can directly click in over here. Also, you can do another thing is you can go to that particular section. You can also click in this particular rule set version, which will eventually redirect you to the same thing. So if I go here, if you see PZ Hut is there, if I'm gonna click in, it's gonna open the same rule set, right? Now this is my rule set, and the rule set version is Pega Hut 1010101. Now what I'm going to do is to enable this check-in and check-out option, you need to enable that in the security tab. Now if you could see in the rule management tab, there is something called use checkout option. Now if I use this checkout option and save the rule set, and if I go to the section and do an action and refresh, you see there is a change, something called checkout option has been enabled. So this is how you would enable that checkout option. So most of the project, when they start, they will make sure that this option is already been enabled. But here I wanted to show how this has been enabled and disabled. That's why I didn't make that option available. Now that we have got this checkout option enabled, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the necessary changes as per the business requirement. Now, before going to this necessary changes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the rule set first. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to lock the rule set with 010101 version. And let's say I'm giving password as rules and rules just to lock the rule set, right? So that nobody accidentally even do check in directly in the rule set and will follow the process. Now if you could see, because I locked the rule set, if I refresh it, this checkout option will be gone and you will have a private edit option. As you could see, you have got a private edit option. Why? Because you have locked the rule set, that means you cannot change this anymore. If I wouldn't have done that, there is a chance that I can do a checkout directly over here, and then I could have check in directly in the rule set version. But our intention is not to do directly, but by going to the branch. Now that we got the rule set version locked, what I'm going to do is, first thing, as I know I need to do some changes in this section. First thing is I need to save this section into the branch that I have created. Now you know the branch which I have created is changes UI. So how you can do, the best way, or the I would say the easiest way that I personally do is go and do checkout to branch. Else you can always do a save it and save into the branch. So I'll do directly going by checkout to the branch. So I don't need to define the class and all. Everything would be here. Now, if you could see, I have got just only one branch which I've just created in front of you guys, and this branch has come up over here. Now, let me check out to that branch. Right now, if you see the rule set version, what it say, PZ Hut, because that's the rule set version which this section is belongs to, but it's no more into any sorry, that's the rule set that section belongs to, but it's no more into a version, but it's part of your branch rule set. Now if I'll just save this over here and open the branch for you, so that you can see there will be one rule already in the branch, and that rule is nothing but the create one section one, which I've just saved it. As you could see, it has already been there, and my name over came out, and the checkout rule has been enabled because I haven't checked it in. Right now, let's go back to this section. Now let's do the changes. So as to do the changes, what I should do is, so as you guys know, the requirement is if I choose passport or DL, then only the ID number should be visible. To achieve that, the first thing I need to do is I need to put a when condition in the section. Now here there is something called visibility condition. Here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it to condition when rule, and I will create a when rule. Let's say I'm gonna create a when rule as show and hide ID ID number. Let's say, right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna directly straight away click on this crosshair to create that rule. Now here one thing you need to focus when you are creating a new rule, right? So the other one, the section one, what I did is I've actually saved it from an existing rule, right? That's why I did checkout from branch. But because this is a new rule, obviously you need to configure it. Now you need to make sure you got the level right, you got the class right. Here I'm gonna go with the same class, and you also got the rule set right. Now over here you need to focus on one thing over here as there is something called develop branch, which is nothing but the branch that we have created. Instead of if you put this into directly rule set, it's gonna go into rule set. As our rule set is already locked, so it obviously gonna throw an error. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna change it to the branch. Now the moment I change into the branch, if you could see, the rule set version is gone, because obviously that will be decided as part of the merge functionality, which I'm gonna show you in a little while. Now here I have chosen the branch and I'm going to create the when rule. Now here what when rule I'm going to put. So let me go to that. So let me find out the property. So now ID type is my property, and what I'm going to do is in the when rule I'll say dot ID type equal to, so I've just created a local list just for this demo, equal to passport, or dot ID type equal to DL, equal to DL. And here is going to be or condition, because I either one of satisfied, then it should work for me, right? Now what, so if you see here, right, now the moment I saved it, so what it will do is it will lock that into the branch and it will enable the checkout option for me. Now let's say, for example, I changed my mind and I thought, okay, I haven't done it correctly. Let me put a double quote instead of leaving them empty. So what I should do is I will go here and check out that option first. And over here, what I'll do is I'll put a double quote here and I'll put a double quote here. Let's say this is the change I'm going to do, and I'm going to save it, and I will again check in. While checking, it will ask for you. Oh, this is the guardrail justification. I'm not going to discuss over here. So it will ask you to put a check-in comment. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write wrote the when rule for visibility condition. So this check-in comment is going to be displayed in the history tab. So whatever you are going to, or how many times you're going to check in, right? So automatically that will be, so as you could see, that will be shown in the history tab. So if your lead or somebody wanted to see what has been changed or something, that's where Pega maintains the history by giving an option to check out and check in. That's how the version control works, right? So now that we have written this when rule, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the section, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly verify no visibility condition. I'll put that when rule here, and I'll just put this when rule here, and I'll submit it and I'll save it. Now, just to make it work, right? Obviously, the condition has to be, because when the moment I change, then only it will be show or hidden, right? So I need to put a refresh section over here on change of the event. So if on change of the event, I just need to refresh this section so that it will, execute the latest rule and it will work, right? Now here I have done the changes. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check in the code over here. Now let's say here the check-in comment is updated the visibility condition in ID number or ID type or ID number. Sorry. Now I'm gonna check it. So what we did is we changed the in the section, and we also created a when rule which will make it work. Now this is where we need to start testing. Now what I'm going to do is always remember your branch rule set is always going to execute first, right? So now to test it, what I'm going to do is, now if you see, because I've locked the rule set, right, that's why it has got uh, uh, everything got locked, because there is no unlocked rule set. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and run over here. Now if you could see over here, ID number is no more visible. Now to check my code is working fine or not, so what I'm going to do is I'll check the passport, and the moment I choose passport, it's the ID number is visible. The moment I choose DL, the ID number is visible. If I would unselect that, then the ID number is again gone, right? So now my code is working fine. So generally what we do as a developer, if our code is working fine, then what I'll do is tell my lead to review the code. Now what your lead will do, they obviously they would know your branch and all. Obviously you would have given the branch's details, everything. So they will come here and they'll open the branch, and then they will because this is there, I'll just refresh it so that everything will come. So they got to know, okay, there are two rules that you have changed, and they will review it. Let's say the review is all good, and now it's a time that we do merge, as in the lead will do merge, right? So how they do the merge to a new rule set. To merge a new rule set, right, the first thing that we do is create a rule set first, right? Now how you can do is there are two way, right? One is, first thing is, what you can do is you can go to action, and there is something called merge. Basically what it does is, basically we are going to merge these two rules into another highest version. As my rule set, if I go to my rule set, the first version has already been locked. Now we have already delivered this functionality, and we are now going to enhance to another functionality. So I have to obviously don't want to unlock that and check it in. Instead, I wanted to create another rule set version so that I can check it in, so that I will have a version control. Now, so what you can do is, when you go here, you do action and merge, right? It will actually, you click on proceed, it will actually allow you to create a rule set version on the fly. Still taking time, yes. So here it will tell, okay, source rule set, I have got total candidate 2. Now the target rule set, okay, pz hot. And obviously there is no conflict found, because there might be a chance, multiple people are working on the same rule. During that time, it's the lead job to make sure things are proper before they merge. Now here you got, see, if you see, if I choose 1.1.1 version, it's locked, so you obviously can't merge over here. So here you can directly create another version, and the moment you merge, automatically Pega will create a version and it will merge. Or instead, what you can do is, you can go ahead and create a version here also. There are two ways. So for this exercise, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to directly create over here, and then I'll do merge. Now once the merge finish, then these two rules will be going to merge to the new version, which is 1.1.2. Right? It's finished. A happy smile over here. Now what I'm doing is close. Now, as a best practice, I would say, always delete this branch from the system. So what we do is, I'll refresh this, and then I will delete the branch from the system so that it won't be there. Right? And what also I can do is, I can go to my application, and I will also remove the branch from the, okay, it's already got removed because I've deleted it, automatically got removed. Now how I see where is my rules, and I wanted to see those rules, right? So what I should do is, I go to PG Hut rule set. Now here I'll do a refresh because the rules already opened, that's why. Now as you could see, the rule set version 112 has already been created. And if you click on this two number, this is nothing but the two rules that we have just created as part of the user story, the section and the handle so and hide number when rule. Now it's all good, it's looking good. So as a best practice, after we merge, as we know, let's consider this is the sprint ending, and we are taking this the code to higher version, or higher environment. That means, as a best practice, what we always do is, we always lock and save, right? Now here I'm gonna lock and save this one, so that nobody will accidentally change it. Because just so that I'll tell you what is the difference between not locking the rule set, which I've already shown you, but I'll tell you another time. If I don't lock the rule set, then you still have the checkout option here, and a person can easily accidentally can check out, and do something, and accidentally can check in. So it's always a best practice to lock your rule set and ensure that nobody is accidentally doing a checkout. So that's why I would do a lock over here. And after it's saved, what I'm gonna do is, so if I may show you this two rule, now you cannot check out. Instead, you have the private edit. Now, I just wanted to take one moment to explain what is private edit means. Let's say you are doing some analysis, right? Now, this entire rule you wanted to see whether it's working fine or not. For example, let's say if I'm going to onboarding, right? Now, if I'll do run this one, I wanted to see, oh, okay, this ID is working properly, right? Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to visible the ID number all the time. Just let's say this is just a requirement. So what I can do is just for analysis purpose or testing purpose, I'll do a private edit. So when I do a private edit, if you could see, you can't check in because there is no rule set version available. There is, it's all, if you could see, it's all locked version. You can only select a branch to set. As I don't have a branch, it's not coming. But without a unlocked version, you can't check in the code. It is just for your testing purpose, or I would say it will be part of your operator checkout rule, which will be the first preference when the rules are getting executed. Now here what I'm going to do, just for the testing purpose, I'm going to just make it always visibility always, and I'll save it. When I save it, that doesn't mean it's safe to rule set. You are safe to do whatever you want because the rule set version is locked, and you are not actually saving it. This is only saving temporarily for your testing. So what I'll do is just for my testing to make sure my code is working fine or not, I'll do run. As you could see, whatever I've done in this particular section by doing a private edit is getting reflected. Now I can see the ID number. Now okay, fine, it is working. I need to do in a proper way. That's where you discard these changes. So once you discard these changes, it goes back to the original state of the rule because it is still sitting in a rule set version which is already locked. That's why that's the beauty of the private edit, where you can do all the analysis and still you can discard your changes. That whatever you are going to do or whatever you are going to change as part of this section by doing a private edit will not impact any other developer working in your team. They would still go ahead and see the rule which is their part of the rule set version, but whatever you are doing the private edit, it is just going to be associated with your operator so that you can only see those changes. That's the beauty of private edit. So I think you got all the idea about how to create a rule set version, how to lock the rule set version, how to enable checkout version, and also how to create in a branch and how the branch is getting merged to a rule set version. I think these are crucial thing for people who are new to Pega and haven't got any real time experience working in a team or something, and they are going to work in a team. This is really gonna help you. Please leave me a feedback on how you like this video, and also do like my channel and subscribe so that you can get more video. Thank you.